Now there is a streamer named, I think, is this Johnny Somali? I don't know. There's so many of these IRL streamers that I can't keep up. This is not the lolcow fandom that I like live and breathe in. I know that there's a lot of cringe ones like Vitali, you got Johnny Somali, you got I don't know. There's so many. There's so many to keep up with, and they're just be out there doing stupid stuff. They're just trying to get the entire world to hate them and throw them in jail forever. But we got disrespectful IRL streamer wishes he never went to Korea. Oh God! Like, why would you go to another country and act like a buffoon? This is like those people that went to that city hall meeting, like absolute idiots, and then expected not to be made fun of. These IRL streamers are just waiting to get cooked.
Oh boy, well, things have just gotten so much worse for the most disliked IRL streamer, as he's now got hit with another charge, meaning he will likely be stuck in South Korea for even longer. The dude should have never stepped foot in Korea, and this is also on top of losing his last remaining social media account, so he's basically banned on every platform, and now begging to be forgiven and unbanned on Kick. Because even though the Korean—
Wait, is his name Johnny Jewish?
And on every platform, and now begging to be forgiven and unbanned.
Johnny Jewish. That's, oh boy, like what a name. What a absolute name.
Kick. Because even though the Korean government has confiscated all of his equipment and he's been banned on all of the major live streaming and video platforms available, this time he's found a way to reemerge on the internet again. And he did so via a video call through someone in Ice Poseidon's circle, because somehow Ice is now part of the story.
Ice Poseidon's another one of these absolute gooners, dude. That was the one I couldn't think of. These guys are they're all entwined with each other. Basically what they do is they take their penises out, loop them over the other one. Now the best loop to do when you're tying a knot is to go around, down, and then twist and back through the loop. So that's what they're doing with each other's penises tied together in a giant circle, and then they dance. And then they dance. They dance and dance and prance and prance and prance and ruin other countries. Their assholes in other countries. And that's their life. That's their life. And I don't understand why anybody enjoys them.
An IRL streamer many of you guys are familiar with. At one point, the dude was basically the largest streamer on Twitch, until that all came crashing down with him being swatted on a plane.
Passengers say that 2 people were removed, a man and a woman.
As many of you guys know, Twitch then deemed that reckless and didn't want to have to deal with any future headache.
One thing I want to say is swatting is one of the most disgusting, foul things you can do. Like, there's a few things on the internet. There's doxing is disgusting. Swatting is worse. Swatting is anybody who swats anybody, I don't care how much you don't like somebody, you are an absolute piece of human AIDS dragon filth. You are below human. You are subhuman piles of garbage. The same thing that goes with like people who like release revenge porn and like all this other stuff. It's just like, why are you guys this way? Like, why are people this way? I hate this. Like, where they're so obsessed with somebody that they want to like ruin their life just because they don't like them. That's wild.
Or PR disasters, so they chose to permanently ban him. Well, fast forward a couple years, and now he's one of the largest streamers on Kick and has definitely contributed to the growth of the Kick platform. And currently, he's traveling around Japan for his series 100 Days to Learn Japanese. And this is all at the time of recording this video right now. He's already been in Japan for over a month now with a group of friends most of the time. And if I'm not wrong, almost everybody in his group is also an IRL streamer who's also recording their own POV of the whole travel. And even though Ice Poseidon and his friends aren't exactly the same thing as Johnny Somali, who probably is the best example of being a nuisance streamer himself, but I mean, it's safe to say that people online are not a fan of streamers making a scene in public for their streams, especially in Japan.
Well, and here's the thing, dude. I remember back in like the day when it was Filthy Frank and like people were doing like the goofy stuff, and then Logan Paul, and I thought there was a lot of hypocrisy where people were really mad at Logan Paul for doing his cringe stuff online, but it was the same people before with who were like congratulating and saying how funny Filthy Frank was. Like, I can get there is a sense of oh, this is funny, dude, look how goofy these people are being, but these guys made their entire being and entire life this shit. They didn't have the funny bits that, like, let's say Filthy Frank would do bits in between, and he had like a lot of other content that wasn't just look how much of a degenerate I am being online always. And then these people get in these situations where they get arrested because they're being like the most big scumbags and not paying attention to foreign laws, and people are like, oh no, we gotta free him or whatever. No, dude, they made their own bed, and now they're going to sleep in that 8x10 cell.
in Korea after Johnny stirred the pot so much there. But this is a fairly recent clip that went viral from Ice Poseidon's group from a guy named ABZ. For example, in this clip, ABZ, one of Ice Poseidon's friends and Kick former employee, he's in public as he receives a donation, and of course the donation sound was set to some anime moans.
Love you too, bro.
This
Yeah.
may look like you're
Come on, the anime moans, dude. These guys are cringe, dude. That is so cringe. It's kind of funny, but it's also cringe. Here's the thing, dude. Here's the thing. Like, it's like if somebody was like, "Oh, dude, why are you okay with this guy getting arrested?" It's like, yeah, dude. I don't go into the middle of like town square and then just beat one out and then get mad because I get arrested for public indecency. There's laws against that, and I broke the laws. And these guys are going to other countries where they have much more strict laws about certain things, and then you guys are like, "Oh, dude, how did this happen to me? Why would this? Oh no, I wish I would have never been here. It's not my fault." Yeah, it is your fault, dude. You didn't pay attention to other customs and then got in trouble. Plain and simple, bro. You can't be a fucking like a period tsunami and then wonder why everybody's mad after you covered them in period blood.
You guys are asshole. Alright, stop. No, let's not make this a thing. Bro, but I thought it was a nice dono. Bro, no. you guys are rats. Bro.
Or here, another dude in the group, slightly homeless, is supposedly drunk late at night and crashes out on the street after getting in some relationship trouble. And this is with the only girl there in the group of streamers.
Homeless, this is actually all your fault. You decided to hook up with that girl. It's your fault, and you should learn.
I know it is my fault. I shouldn't have asked her to date me.
Dude, another thing is, why are people getting drunk in public and then filming themselves getting drunk in public? What is the appeal here? I didn't understand it when people like got excited and like watched Only Use Me Blade just to watch them get drunk and get sick all the time. It makes me nauseous. It makes me want to puke. Yeah, because I don't like hearing the gag. I just don't like this. You will never catch me being the guy that's like, "Oh, dude, watch me go get like obscenely drunk in public and film it while I throw up on the side of the road." It's not entertainment to me. That is just foul.
Odd, but remember him because he'll become relevant to the story later on. But then you have this one, which ABZ filmed Ice Poseidon, I guess pretending to make out with a statue.
What the fuck?
Me too. Oh, maybe Sam took them.
Paul!
Oh! Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's kind of funny. I mean, like, it's not the funniest thing ever, but it's just like, look how, it's like if you and your buddies were walking around. See, this is the thing, like, they're just filming it all for the clicks, but we know that in, like, high school and shit, then this is, like, these guys are, like, past high school age, so they're literally just filming to high schoolers, like, "Oh, dude, look, I'm still chilled like that." And I remember in high school, you do shit like this, you put it over the mouth, and go, "Nah, nah, nah," and then your buddies would laugh, and then you go on with your day, and just go do more stupid shit, because you had nothing better to do, because you're in fucking high school.
I mean, technically that's cheating because the intent was there.
Sumimasen, hanko doko? Hanko doko?
Why are IRL streamers making moves on statues, especially in Asia? Why? What's the point? Like, thankfully, this isn't like a memorial from what I can tell, but why fly out to Japan and do that? Or this?
Bro probably definitely humped its face. Like,
Oh, what do we got here? Damn, son.
I mean, again, this is the type of shit you do in high school, which is, like, at the time is funny, but you're just filming it for the world to see because you want to get, like, a couple more subs because a bunch of people are just not growing up. This is, like, high school level humor, which is fine, dude. I can see the appeal with this type of shit. Like, but where they're harassing, like, actual people is where I draw the line. Going out and being goofy around statues, I don't see as being that big of a problem. It's like, oh, yeah, look at them trying to goon on a statue. Like, okay, like, this isn't, like, as long as it's not bothering anybody, who the fuck cares?
I'm fucking hurt.
But again, like, why are they, like, wearing, like, stupid, like, they're all dressed like absolute buffoons going out in public. Like, this is the same thing I made fun of with those people at that fucking city hall meeting. It's like, if I go to another country, I'm going to be on my best fucking behavior. I'm going to be like a pillar of society. I want to represent myself the best I possibly can be, so people don't look at me and as an example of a bad European, because I'm setting it, like, you should think of it as you're setting an example for your country, so don't be so fucking cringe, because they meet you and they're just going to assume that every, whether you're like Canadian or whatever place you're from, like I'm American, so they're going to assume that every American is an absolute gooning douchebag tampon swallower, when all reality, I could be over there and be really cool, and they're like, wow, dude, Americans are actually pretty fucking cool, dude. Look how base this guy is. Like, when I was in Europe, dude, I never thought I'm gonna just go in here and I'm gonna fucking knock over shelves and laugh at how funny it is on stream. Go fuck yourself, dude. I'm just here to see the cool sights.
They seem to be in like a trail, so if we just keep going forward.
Brother, are you okay? But if that wasn't questionable enough, I guess you decided to follow Johnny's footsteps and say this about the Yakuza?
Say it with me, Nana.
Huh?
The Yakuza.
For Yakuza.
Yeah, them. I hope they get.
Good.
They're all.
Get.
Yakuza.
Why? That's just poor risk to reward assessment with that action. Like, I feel like that one can go south pretty quickly. Ice and his friends might not be just like Johnny Somali, since they aren't really committing felonies nor harassing people in the same way as him.
Like, look at this. Look at this, this behavior, dude. This is so fucking retarded. Who enjoys people like this? I want to say anybody who's fans of people doing this type of shit and actually being, like, disruptors of society for a couple clicks online, you are a fucking no-life douchebag loser.
I also see why a bunch of Japanese and Korean citizens are labeling them as nuisance streamers. But this group draws a very strong line between them and Johnny, as we'll see soon, because during a live stream, Slightly Homeless, who we saw earlier, he decided to call Johnny Somali out of nowhere.
You hear me?
Nah, I've been watching a little bit of the trip. Yeah, I know, Nana. What's up?
Yes, the camera's on.
Hi.
Hi, Nana. Hi.
Hi. Hello.
Does she know Johnny Somali? Does she know me?
Well, here's the thing too. Like, yeah, people like want like him like wearing shit like America, make America great again hats and shit. Like, if you are an anti-Trump person, now you have somebody that, oh, all Trump people are this way. You go to another country, you see you're like. This is the type of shit, even if it was like if you wear like a political thing on your head and then you go over to this country, now they're going to assume that an entire group of people who want nothing to do with you, don't like you, you're just trying to make them all look like assholes, which maybe is the intent behind it. Like, oh, you hate these people, so go, I'm gonna own the chuds or whatever. I think this is cringe. I think it's cringe when people like dress up like LGBT people and go to city hall meetings just to own the libs. I think it's so fucking cringe, because you're just maliciously trying to be the worst person you can possibly be for a couple clicks online, and I think you're an absolute fucking degenerate.
I love that the only thing that Johnny can brag about in his life is harassing strangers in public. Really, dude? Congratulations, Johnny. So Johnny claims that he's planning to meet this group in Busan, because apparently they're also going to Korea soon, but I doubt that'll ever happen, judging from that reaction at the end there. If it does happen, it'll probably be from Johnny stream sniping them. And also, that clip that we just saw also kind of reinforced his ban on Kick, because Ice is pretty influential on Kick, and Johnny clearly begged to get unbanned on Kick because he has no platforms left. And obviously, Ice said this.
Oh, what the
What?
Johnny Somali, are you still alive?
Johnny
Bro, hang up on this.
Bro, what the are you doing? What are you doing?
Oh, dude. I mean, this is just asking to get banned. Like, here's the thing. I disagree with getting banned because you have somebody who's controversial and is banned on a platform, right? I think that you can have... I don't think creators should be held liable for talking to somebody that's controversial. I really don't. I think that it is... No matter how bad they are, I think you can get something from them. And even when Hassan had the Houthi guy on, I think that he had every right to have that person on. I think where the criticism comes from stuff like this is you can criticize the person for the intention. Like, this is obviously just clout goblin bullshit, so we should make fun of him for that. But like saying he should be banned because of oh well, you had Goonmaster 69 on your stream, and Goonmaster 69 is a bad person. I don't think you should like hold people accountable for having crazy people on their streams. You can criticize them for it for sure, but I don't think that means that you should be banned. I just want that. It really was a kind of a tangent and out of the way, but I think it's a point that I should stand on.
You mean? I want advice.
Huh?
I want advice. Advice? Yeah, what are you doing? They want me Somali. Let me Somali.
Look, when you guys do hobby,
He gonna set you up. I'll talk to you later.
He gonna set you up, He gonna set you up. Get me up there.
He wants I'm banned from K.
That's not gonna happen.
Peace out, bro. I'll see you later.
And to be real, like Kick already has pretty lenient guidelines, so to get banned from there is pretty insane. But I still think that you shouldn't be banned for having somebody who's controversial just on your phone for like a second. I don't think that's something you should be banned for. But it, like, to be honest, like going out and breaking actual laws should get you banned from platforms. I do not believe that is free speech. If you were out there maliciously breaking laws and doing illegal stuff, that should not be platformed. Like, not that, like, I don't think that they have the right to say and do or say crazy things, but doing crazy things is much different than saying crazy things, because you're no longer just utilizing speech, you're utilizing actions, and therefore it's different. There is a very different correlation there that I think is something that could be missed by me, like, oh, well, you don't stand for free speech because you wanted Johnny Somali, you thought he got rightfully banned. Well, yeah, he was breaking actual laws and then filming himself breaking those actual laws. That is not freedom of speech. That is he's breaking fucking laws. What are we talking about here?
Meet the new standard in...
And I think that there's a lot of people that don't utilize that correlation. They're like, oh, well, freedom of speech is always absolute. It's like, yeah, your speech is free, but going and breaking actual laws with actions is not freedom. That is just breaking laws. And from what I know, it's Johnny Somali going to other places and being an absolute fucking gooner and breaking like countries' laws and then wondering why he gets banned off of places. Well, that's why you got banned, is because you're doing illegal actions. It's like, oh, if you film yourself selling cocaine on the internet, oh, well, you got banned. They're trying to censor my free speech. They're not censoring your free speech. They're censoring you selling drugs on the internet.
Well, not like Ice and them are making Kick look great either, but I will agree that there is a difference between them. But honestly, Johnny has way bigger problems than meeting Ice Poseidon, like the bounty Johnny has on his head for the Korean public. Because remember, they call him the Golden Goblin over there. So yeah, strangers are still paying for anyone who can film themselves hitting the guy. So technically he still drops loot. I love how there's like this niche Korean online community that are essentially playing human Pokemon Go with Johnny Somali because he harassed the citizens of Korea for profit. Kinda deserved. So he has that to worry about, and his new charge, as he was just now recently charged with an additional count of violating the Minor Crimes Act, which is the same kind of charge that postponed his trial back in December. So now we have 2 charges of obstruction of business, and then we have 2 Minor Crimes Act charges as well. Now, regarding the Minor Crimes Act, we don't know specifically what they're investigating because the dude has basically committed so many illegal acts in South Korea.
Bro looks cracked out, bro. Bro looks like he's on a bunch of drugs while doing this type of stuff. He looks actually sick and unwell, but does that excuse any of his actions? No, throw this motherfucker away in jail if he's breaking that many laws. Put him in jail. I mean, if I go into a business and I kick over like a stand and destroy company product, that means that I deserve to go to jail for breaking company product and like actually destruction. I mean, there is fines and fees and jail time for stuff like that in the US, so why wouldn't there be in other countries? This is like blatant. He should go to jail. Like, if you're breaking laws, you do the time, plain and simple. Send him in there, let him enjoy some prison fun time, and we'll see how he is in a couple decades.
It's almost impossible to track everything down. And before you ask, a minor crimes offense in Korea has nothing to do with minors. Like, that's just the equivalent of a misdemeanor over there. So recently, I guess he's just stacking misdemeanors on top of his felonies already. But when I was researching this video, I saw a comment about Johnny's situation that said this dude is like the lucky roulette wheel of crime prosecutors. Whatever you land on, he's probably committed it. And that describes it pretty well, because unfortunately for Johnny, yet again, the dude live streams and documents everything he does. So all the prosecutors have to do is just sit and watch through all of his VODs. What an absolute skill issue. The dude just completely played himself. But even though he got another...
Dude, I love the fact that you don't even have to like with these IRL guys, it's not like the Gooner lolcows where they have to do some digging and find out about the seedy shit they're doing. They're just like, watch me do all of these crimes live on Kick, live on Twitch. Check it out while I actually do felonies. Oh, look how funny these felonies are. And then they go to jail and people are like, why are they going to jail? What should we protect? No, dude, let them rot in a European Asian prison or whatever because they committed actual fucking crimes.
Misdemeanor, as I said in my last video, these all add up because one misdemeanor, it doesn't really do too much, honestly, in the grand scheme of things, but 2 misdemeanors, you'll probably get into a little bit more trouble. But if you add those 2 misdemeanors on top of his felonies, suddenly Johnny might be ending up in some serious prison time. And I mean, every update on him just shows us...
Bro, he's gonna be the Yakuza's flesh puppet. That's what he's gonna become.
How possible this can actually be. Because now he's
and I understand that the Yakuza is Japanese and he's in Korea, but come on, dude, it's a funny joke. We're talking about Johnny Somali getting passed around by the Yakuza like a skin flute. Let's go.
Charged as a repeat offender. So it's safe to say the dude wishes he never went to Korea. And speaking of getting banned on platforms, Johnny's TikTok account has now disappeared. And even though it's tough to tell exactly what's going on, I do feel like there might be a pattern. And that pattern, I guess, is his career completely vanishing because absolutely nothing has been posted on any of his socials. There was nothing on his new YouTube account because his old one was banned, but he does have a new channel, but nothing's there. And his Rumble account, that's just kind of collecting dust because there's nothing new there either. So for now, his career of harassing random
dude, it's funny he's still on Rumble, bro. I think so. I do like the Rumble exists to be kind of like the freedom of speech platform or whatever. But again, if you document yourself doing actual crimes, again, I think you should be banned from creating. But I don't think people should nuke your entire channel because of one reason. Here's the one reason: you should age restrict the videos, right? Or keep them. You can they can be put on, they're instantly put unlisted. How about that? They get put unlisted, but I think that keeping them as a documentation purposes to highlight the fact that he did these crimes instead of just wiping it out, it's almost like covering up the crimes. I think the fact that having an ability for the police and people to utilize the footage to say, hey, look at what this guy's been doing, we want this to be documented, I think that's fair. There is a line there that I think too far. Obviously, we don't want the general public seeing like violent actions, like way too violent of actions. But I think there is a purpose to documentarianship. But what's the line? What's the line of how illegal of stuff you can put online? That's what the question I think should be asked.
People in public has come to a complete halt. But if you watched our last video on Johnny, you might remember Hank as well, the guy who did that podcast interview where he tried to explain why he keeps being friends with Johnny Somali. A bunch of creators covered that interview, including Andrew from Legal Mindset, who we've also had here on this channel before. And surprisingly, Hank decided to file a lawsuit against a bunch of different South Korean streamers for stalking and harassment, and against Andrew for talking about what he does on a public platform. But when Hank filed this,
see, this is where all that like, it's funny that whenever somebody's getting criticized, they're all of a sudden not for freedom of speech anymore and freedom of like this shit, because it's like, oh yeah, I can criticize other people, I can do whatever I want online and be an absolute fucking goblin mode douchebag retard, but then soon as somebody else criticizes me, well, here comes legal action, I'm no longer for freedom of speech. I hate these people. I hate this type of hypocrisy.
Lawsuit, he decided to combine all of these streamers into one single case, and that might have been one of the worst decisions he could have done for that lawsuit, because now it's a lawsuit. Honestly, it was a lawsuit to begin with, but that definitely does not help. Hank is also suing Andrew, an attorney, not for stalking and harassment, but for insult and defamation in the same lawsuit.
I mean, you need a lot to prove defamation, and like libel and defamation, you need a lot to prove that. So it's just like, why even get in the lawsuit unless you have something that's absolutely guaranteed to get you a win? It's one of those things that lawyers will tell you that if you want to do a defamation lawsuit, you better make sure that your ducks are in fucking line and they're having a gangbang. Otherwise your chances of winning that money is fucking dust in the wind.
Hank is suing Andrew because basically Andrew quoted Hank himself in that live stream interview on Legal Mindset's channel. And at the end, I guess Hank didn't like it.
Hank's issue is that he made these statements. He came out of his own volition on an international public broadcast and said these things. And I think what Hank thinks is that he can say these things on a public broadcast and they will remain private. So he thinks that he can go out and just talk to people publicly on something he knows is being streamed, he knows being put out there.
Hank was the one who defamed himself on a public platform. Other people just talked about it. That's like suing a mirror for showing your reflection. It's safe to say, like, not even Andrew is taking this issue very seriously because he knows the lawsuit isn't going anywhere, but also because Hank is trying to sue Andrew under Korean law when Andrew isn't even based in Korea. And Andrew is also not a South Korean citizen.
I'm currently in Thailand, which once again, I say is a proper venue.
I mean, again, it's just so funny. The whole, like, I can do what I want, this is freedom of speech, I'm doing all this stuff. And then they sue anybody who critiques them. It's just such a weak pussy mindset, dude. It's so fucking pathetic. And to waste, just to throw random money at bullshit like this is so retarded. Why would you waste money on this?
Would be a proper venue. I can say whatever the I want, and he can't. Under South Korean law, it's inapplicable. South Korean law has nothing to do with what I say as a non-resident of, I'm not a permanent resident, I'm not a citizen of South Korea, so I can say whatever the I want about Hank.
So here we are watching the Johnny Somali situation get even worse, which I honestly didn't even think was possible in the first place. Even after all of his equipment has been confiscated, he's still racking up charges, you know, because he live streamed everything and they're still combing through everything that he's done in Korea. His court date is currently the 7th of March, but there are a lot of rumors saying that because of his recent charge that they're likely going to postpone that court date. So I guess we just kind of have to wait a few weeks to find out. But other than that, if you want the full story of how we even got here, you can check out this video. Or this one.
I mean, the fact is, he did a bunch of gooner shit, got arrested, they took all of his equipment, then he got out, then he did more misdemeanors, then he's probably going to go to jail for the rest of his life in Korea, and he probably deserves it. You break the you do the crime, you do the time, and it's so funny that these IRL streamers think they can get away with it because they're popular or because they have some sort of internet micro celebrity status, and this all just kind of turns into a giant cabal of don't be an idiot online and break laws for the world to see. That's, I mean, no, this is pathetic, stupid streamer behavior. What are we talking about here? You know, what are we even talking about? This isn't fucking rocket science. I'm not creating Elon Musk's rockets to send them to the moon and then have them come back and land. What are we doing here? Come on, dude. But that was the Johnny Somali situation. That's where we're at right now. I hope you enjoyed it. Like and subscribe.